Why did Jesus have to die? Was it fate or a plan? His final week wasn't just a tragedy. It might have been a master plan for martyrdom. What if the crucifixion wasn't a tragedy, but a calculated act planned by Jesus himself to save an entire religion? Jerusalem, 30 AD. A man rides into the city on a donkey. Crowds cheer, waving palms. They call him King of the Jews. But this is not a celebration. It's a setup for the most dramatic week in religious history. Was Jesus planning to die from the very beginning? Jesus arrives after 3 years of wandering and preaching. He enters through Jerusalem's Golden Gate, not quietly but like a king. He parades down the city's grand street, his followers calling him Messiah. To the Jewish elites, this is dangerous. To the Romans, it's treason. He's not just a teacher anymore, he's a threat. Jesus storms into the temple with fire in his eyes. He flips the heavy tables with force. Coins clatter and scatter across the stone floor. Merchants shout in confusion as he lashes out at the money changers. It looks like rage, but it's not random. This isn't madness, it's a deliberate strike. A bold public act. This is symbolic warfare, aimed straight at the heart of a corrupt system. The high priest Caiaphas had turned God's sacred house into a marketplace. He wasn't just a spiritual leader, he ran a business. He sold animal sacrifices for profit, controlled who could make offerings, and turned prayer into transaction. And then came Jesus. With one explosive act, he shattered the illusion of holiness and struck at the core of Caiaphas's power. In that moment, the high priest wasn't just challenged, he was humiliated, publicly, and he couldn't ignore it. Roman Governor Pontius Pilate is furious. The city is tense, the crowds are restless. He stands beside Caiaphas on the fortress wall, overlooking the people below. His voice sharp, his patience gone. Why can't you control your people? To punish him, Pilate strikes where it hurts most. He denies Caiaphas the sacred vestments, the ceremonial robes needed to perform the Passover rituals. Without them, the high priest is powerless, stripped of honor, stripped of function. It's more than humiliation, it's a message, a crushing blow to his authority in front of an entire nation. Caiaphas has a problem. A rebel preacher is stirring up the crowds and challenging his authority at the very heart of the temple. But Caiaphas is no fool. He's powerful, political, and careful. He wants this threat removed, yes, but not at the cost of his own reputation. He doesn't want blood on his hands, not his, not yet. At the Last Supper, Jesus sets his plan in motion. He asks Judas to hand him over, not out of weakness, but to force a hearing, to confront the corruption of the temple elite and turn the system against itself. His message is clear, calculated, and prophetic. As the meal unfolds, he speaks the chilling words that seal his fate. One of you will betray me. That night in the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus waits. He knows what's coming, or so he thinks. But something goes wrong. Instead of the temple guards, it's Roman soldiers who appear through the darkness, and they're not here to negotiate. Jesus is arrested, not for questioning but for sentencing. His bold plan to confront Caiaphas, to force a public hearing, collapses. Caiaphas won't get his hands dirty. He lets the empire do the work for him. The pressure is mounting. Inside, Pilate faces Jesus, silent, bruised yet unbroken. The governor leans in and asks, "Are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus responds, steady and calm, "My kingdom is not of this world." Legally, he finds no guilt, no crime, no reason for death. But outside, the crowd is stirred. They scream, "Crucify him!" Pilate, torn between justice and pressure, gives in. He knows Jesus is innocent, but truth has no weight when power is on the line. He hesitates, not because he doubts the truth, but because he fears the consequences. The priests demand blood. The people scream for it. In the end, he steps back, removes himself from blame, but seals the fate with his signature. Was this the end or the beginning? By dying, Jesus became the ultimate symbol. He didn't run, he didn't beg. He embraced the cross, a calculated sacrifice to reform the Jewish faith and spark a new one. He knew his death would echo through centuries. For 300 years, the cross was a mark of shame. It was a death reserved for traitors. But after Constantine, it became the symbol of hope. The very instrument of execution became the heart of a global religion. And Jesus' name, the name of a rebel, became divine. Was Jesus a martyr or a strategist? Did he provoke the powers knowing they'd kill him, so his message would live forever? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like and subscribe for more untold stories from history.